My name is Chris with the Empire Real Estate YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to go through a complete Propstream tutorial. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at this great tool that many real estate investors, wholesalers, and even real estate agents use to find off-market deals. Now, if you're a real estate investor or a wholesaler, you might be used to finding properties on MLS and going through agents. However, there are a lot of investors that are using tools like this to get data of property owners that might be motivated, might be in the need to sell in a hurry, or maybe just have distressed properties. So with Propstream, you're able to look through a list of motivated sellers that have the need to sell. There's also great tools in there so you can narrow down searches based on how much equity people have. And Propstream also gives you the ability to look at sales comps and really look through data to determine whether an investment is going to be right for you or not. So with this tool, you can find deals that have good margin. And if you're an investor, it could be a really good thing for you. So we have Burton from Propstream, and he's going to walk us through a complete tutorial of how to use this tool to find more deals for your real estate business. Now, before we get into this, I do want to tell you there is a affiliate link down below with a 7-day free trial, so there's no risk to try it. And while you go through this tutorial, you might want to download it and kind of click through it with us as we go through it so you can kind of feel it out and see if you like the tool and if you think it's going to help you grow your own real estate business. So let's dive right into it. So Burton, welcome to the show today. I'm excited to have you on so you can kind of share more about Propstream, give everybody that's interested a quick tutorial and kind of show them how it can, help them build their real estate business, whether they're on the fix and flip side, the realtor side, or even the wholesale side. So thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. I love teaching people what I know about Propstream. So thank you.
Awesome. So let's dive right into it. Let's break it down and kind of show people how the tool works and how it can help them kind of grow.
Let's go for it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And, a common question I get a lot is, what does Propstream do? So where I'd like to start is actually showing you a quick PowerPoint. So if you're watching this, hopefully this PowerPoint can kind of, visualize what we do and how we can help you in your real estate profession and your real estate business. But the two major things that Propstream's really good at are what you see here in orange, our lead generation capability and analyzing a property or a vacant land. We do have some additional features like our mobile app if you're driving for dollars or you wanted to skip trace a property while you're out there on the field. If your team is scaling, we have team member counts. And then List Automator, which is a really cool feature. It actually lets you generate a list and then automate it, meaning anytime a new record comes into Propstream with your same criteria, we add it to your list for you. We also make sure your list is cleaned up every day and tell you what's listed or what's on market if you don't need it. So really cool additional features that we have. But when it comes to the two core things, lead generation and analyzing properties, let's break that down really quick. So lead generation, there's really three parts to it. And you're not forced to do all three parts. It's really up to you. So part one, I believe everybody's going to do, and that's build a list with us. So 4 steps: search, filter, save your list, and export your results. Now, every month you get 10,000 records to save. So it's quite a bit. And filtering is going to be very important. That way you don't exhaust all of those records right off the bat. But that's part one. So if you're here for just addresses like senior owners or pre-foreclosures or tax delinquent properties that all that stuff, that's what you can do. You can search, you can filter for those records, you can save those records, and then export those addresses. Now, we do have skip tracing. And for those that don't know what that is, that's essentially getting a cell phone, a landline, or an email. And yes, with Propstream, you can do that. It's an additional 12 cents or 10 cents if you have List Automator. So there's a discount if you purchase List Automator as well. But what that will do is within 5 minutes or less, get you a cell phone, a landline, or an email. So not only can you build, let's say, a pre-foreclosure list in Propstream, but within 5 minutes, you have the contact information of that homeowner as well. And then you can export that data. And so not only do you have these addresses that are in pre-foreclosure or these senior owners, you have their contact information as well. So you, your team, your virtual assistants, your dialer can now, have this information. And then part three, again, not for everybody, but it's there, marketing. We can set you up with a landing page. It's a one-page website for your lists So if you build, let's say, senior owners list and you skip trace them, and let's say you call them and you still want to set up a website and send postcards and emails, well, you can do that with us. That website could say, hey, senior owners, how would you like to sell your house? Or how can I help you find your retirement home? Then you could send out postcards and emails. So that's all part of our lead generation. And then analyzing a property. Because if you do lead generation with or without Propstream, cause and effect, if you're marketing out to properties, someone's bound to call you back. And our data can help you analyze a property. It's as simple as searching an address, finding opportunities. Like, is it because of the mortgage? Is it because they live out of state, or they own multiple properties, or there's a lien on the property? And then after you find out what those opportunities are, that essentially is the motivation to sell, you can run comps using our data to get an after repair value, or maybe looking at cash transactions to see what an as-is property would be bought for. And then finally, don't hesitate to print reports like the comp report you just ran or the property information. So I wanted to start here so you can get an idea of like what we do. So there are some, again, additional features, and that's skip tracing is going to be additional, postcards and emails will be additional, and list automator as well as team members. So let's go ahead and dive into Propstream and show you all of that into play. So when you log into Propstream for the first time, we're going to show you our updates and what we've been working on. When you close out of that, remember your playground's the whole United States. We don't region lock anybody. So your subscription allows you to go anywhere. Now your toolbar is located on the left-hand side, and we start you on the search page because we believe you're here to either build a list or search a property. So when you go to the search page, if you're looking to build a list, go to the search bar and you could type in a county, a city, or a zip code. So let's say today I want to build a list in Atlanta, Georgia. I can type in Atlanta. And maybe tomorrow I decide, you know what, I want to do Omaha, Nebraska now. And then the next day I decide, you know what, I think I'm going to settle for Las Vegas. You can search anywhere, is my point. So county, city, zip code. And we even have a draw search feature. So if you're farming out like an area just west of a freeway or north of a church, or east of a school, the draw search feature can also help you out. And mind you, we do also have a heat map to guide you in that market, like show you estimated values, MLS stats, price growth, and even rental values. So for like estimated values, we give you multiple options. So if you just wanted to see estimated value, go ahead and click on that sub option, and then the colors appear. If you want estimated value per square footage, the colors will change. The legend will tell you what the colors represent. Heck, maybe you're new to this market and you want to know how it's been growing. Go to the price growth and you can see how this area has grown over the last year and see where areas have taken 100% growth or areas that have taken a loss. And even rental values. Maybe you're representing a buy and hold investor. Maybe you are the buy and hold investor. You can see what rent price looks like in any market. So use these tools to your advantage. But when it comes to building a list in Propstream, first search your market. When the results populate, and by the way, these are not all the addresses in the market. These are just addresses that are on one of 19 categories we have. I repeat, these are not all the addresses. There's no sense in showing you every address in the city. What we're doing rather is showing you which properties have gone on to a category of ours, like which of these are on the MLS. So out of the 500,000 you're seeing here, 7,000 of them are listed with a realtor. 1,700 are in pre-foreclosure. 95 are up for auction. 632 are in foreclosure or owned by a bank. Actually over 100,000 properties were bought in cash. Liens, tax liens, HOA liens, child support. Who's not answering their mail, aka vacant? Who has a lot of equity on their property, 100,000 or more? Now, I recommend getting used to our filter just to the right of the search bar. Here is where you're going to locate all 19 options. Under our quick list choices, this is where you're going to see all of our categories. So the first 8 on market to high equity, those are the first 8 boxes we just went over. Then you have free and clear and bankruptcies and divorces and delinquencies and flippers and failed listings and senior owners and vacant land and tired landlords and zombie properties and even deceased owners. And if you go to our website, we can define what each one of them mean, or you can hit the help section here on the toolbar and get more information on that. But not only do you have 19 quick list choices, just think of this as like going to the county and grabbing a list from the county. You can do that in Propstream. But not only do you have 19 categories to choose from, we've also coupled it here on the left-hand side with over 100 additional filters. So you can do things like, I want a pre-foreclosure and I want it owner occupied because I'm going to go knock on their door. Or I don't like owner occupied properties because they're so emotionally attached to these homes and they don't want to sell, even though they're going through a pre-foreclosure. So I want the non-owner occupied properties. Or maybe you're the one that's like, hey, you're in pre-foreclosure. Whether you're there or not there, I need to talk to you to help you. So you're going to stay with any. So you have a lot of filters from whether the owner's there, whether they're occupied, aka answering their mail, or whether it's a pre-foreclosure not answering their mail, or again, both answering your mail, not answering. I'm going to mail you. I'm going to skip trace you. I'm going to get a hold of you one way or another and help you. You have property characteristics. You can see residential properties, commercial properties, office, industrial, vacant land if you'd like. And for each one you select, so if you select residential, your property types drop-down menu will adjust. If you select commercial, property types will adjust to commercial. Beds, bathrooms, buildings, lots of pretty self-explanatory stuff. MLS filters. This allows you to look for the pre-foreclosures that are listed with the realtor. But I know you're not interested in that, everybody. On-market no is really what most of our users like doing. Because again, we're trying to get direct to seller. We're not trying to buy properties on market. We can get direct to seller. We can probably get a better price. So most of our users love this option right here. Go through whatever list you're about to choose. MLS status on market, no. You have pre-foreclosure and foreclosure filters. You have ownership info. I always say, hey, the list you build is the list you're going to market to, and then they're going to call you back. So you actually get to control who calls you back. So the type of people that I want to market to are individuals that are going through a pre-foreclosure. Hopefully individuals call me back, and those are the owners. You can put numbers of properties owned, even the location of that owner. We have lien, bankruptcy, divorce filters. So yes, you can stack how many of my pre-foreclosures that are currently off market and owned by individuals, how many of them have also filed for a bankruptcy? 8 of them. So we could take 2 different lists, pre-foreclosures, right? And the bankruptcy list. So you can't choose 2 different options on your drop-down menu, but all the other options are embedded in the filters. So if you wanted a pre-foreclosure with a bankruptcy and a lien, feel free to choose them both. And there's your property with the pre-foreclosure and a lien. Lien types, recording dates, lien amounts. And let's not forget value and equity. So estimated values, rent values, even the amount of equity can be applied, which is very, very common if you're a fix and flipper or a wholesaler, or you do a strategy that requires equity. This filter can also take negative numbers. So if you do short sales or something creative, feel free to utilize that. And last, but certainly not least, our mortgage information section. This allows you to look for a property with 1, 4 mortgages, certain mortgage balance, a certain loan type. So if you like assumable loans, for example, because you like creative stuff, you can choose your FHAs, your VAs, your conventional if you need it. You have the ability to apply interest rate types. So, again, maybe you don't want a property with a 4% interest rate or higher. So you can max it out. Show me properties with a 1 to 4% interest rate, and even interest rate types. So if you don't like properties with adjustable rates, you can let us know you just want fixed rates. Or if you think adjustable rates are going to be motivated sellers, you can select adjustable rate mortgages. So yes, you have 19 options, and every one of those options can have additional features added to it and stacked with other lists as well. And then when you're done, that one property, which I don't recommend just finding one property. The idea, again, why we give you 10,000 is to build a list of properties to go after. So as you can see, yes, you can stack as many filters as you like, but you do have to be cautious about it. Stacking too many things like I did here can lead you to 1, 2, and sometimes maybe no results. You have to ask yourself, how many homeowners do you know are in pre-foreclosure with a lien, a bankruptcy, maybe going through a divorce, right? That might not happen in every market. I'm sure there's one out there, but they may not happen everywhere. So as much as you can stack more than one filter, it may not be effective in all scenarios. Okay. Finally, once you're done building your list, whatever it may be, pre-foreclosures, maybe it's tax delinquency today, maybe it's senior owners. Once your list has been built, you can now hit close. And then here on the right-hand side, you can check off your properties and add it to the list. And that's how you build properties in Propstream. From there, your properties will be stored in the My Properties section. Think of this as like your virtual filing cabinet. Here, any list that you save can be viewed. So you can click on any properties within that list that you save and view the details. Or you can check off those properties and export them. And that's part one of lead generation. So if you're just here for addresses, you search your market, you apply some filters, you hit close, you save the results on the right-hand side that you generated, and then you go to My Properties, you click on your list, and you export those addresses. But if you felt like, hey, you know what, those numbers and emails actually could be very useful, that's our skip tracing. You're going to click on that, follow 3 steps, which is choose your list, accept the terms and conditions and accept the payment. And then 3, just wait for your order, and your order goes through into the contacts page. I always like to remind our users, when you're skip tracing, you're gathering contact information. So go there and you can get your contact information. And then finally, the marketing section, the campaign section. This is where you can, again, part 3, this is where you can set up a new campaign. So I want to set up my tax lien campaign, my buyer's campaign, my failed listings campaign, my pre-foreclosure campaign. Name your campaign, target the list that you saved. And then once you save your campaign, and by the way, just like me over here on the left-hand side, you can have as many active campaigns as you like, because we know you're going to have more than one list. So for each list that you create, senior owner list, you can have a Las Vegas senior owner campaign. Maybe you create a buyer's list right after. Well, then create a buyer's campaign. And then maybe your third one's an auction campaign. So you create an auction campaign. And for each campaign you create, you get a website. It's a free landing page. It's part of your subscription. And this website can be addressed to them specifically. Hey, I can help your property close in 30 days. I can give you cash in 30 days, whatever the message may be. There's even an application for that. So every campaign you start gets a website, and then from there you can send out postcards and emails. And then finally, the last thing Propstream is really good at, besides generating leads, gathering contact information, and marketing to these leads, is property information. In the event any of these properties do call you back, you can search that address. Like number 1, 2730 McFall Court. Propstream will give you the recommendation, so you don't have to search all the way through. Go ahead and click on that recommendation. And instead of giving you all the properties in Las Vegas, we're just going to show you the property in green and give you a little description on the right side. Below that, the nearby listings, which in this case, we start you off with the neighbors, which you see. You can see the MLS listings around that property, pre-foreclosures, and if there are any foreclosures around there as well. Not only do we give you a brief description, nearby listings, below the map, you can see statistics of the property's location as well. So whether there's been price change increases or decreases, rent change increases or decrease, trends, days on market. And then because we're using Google Maps, let's not forget that you can even use Street View. You wanted to drop yourself on the map and take a look at the property and compliment them for the nice color they selected, or the nice choice of a fence that they have. Build that rapport. Google Image can really help you out. But if you are going to have a conversation with the homeowner, this is what, again, our second part kicks in and what we're really good at: providing property details. When you do search in a property, you can go into the details of that property, and this is what our bread and butter looks like. So here is where you're going to see not just the address and photos, but you're going to see property characteristics, beds, bathrooms, the year built, a property summary, how many years the owner's been there, whether it's owner occupied, whether they're answering their mail or not. And if you want more information about the property details, this dashboard that I'm showing you here at the top, all of this information, like this first square, our property details summary square, is pulled from down here. There are several tabs down below, starting with property details, that show you owner information, property information, land information, tax information, and even situational data. Like this homeowner is going through a pre-foreclosure, so we can see that information. We can purchase the pre-foreclosure document for $5. We also see that this homeowner has a lien on the property and it was recently sold, right? So they just solved their problem. I don't need to speak to this homeowner anymore. Why? Because it was in pre-foreclosure. It did have a lien, but it just sold this month. So next seller, right? So this is how using data can be very powerful. We know who to work with and who not to work with. Now let's assume it didn't sell. What if it failed? We have a motivated seller. Is it worth my time? Well, let's run comps and find out. What's this house worth? Our comparables and nearby listings section will give you comparables. And that's our public record data, our nationwide MLS access, or both. And you have filters to apply. And we'll even do the math for you. So as you, let's say, select public records and start selecting numbers 2 and 4 and 6, and I don't recommend doing this. I recommend adding filters first and letting us know you need your single families and you need your 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. But as you start selecting your leads or your comps, Propstream will do the math for you here at the top. We'll tell you what the average is of those 5 that you selected. Some might have photos as well, so feel free to click on that and see whether that was a renovated comp or not. So, you know, that $325,000 price we just saw, that's what this property looks like. So now I know what a $325,000 property looks like, and I can compare it to the subject property, the homeowner that we're working with. And if they don't have a pool, if they didn't renovate it, if they don't have X, Y, Z compared to the other property you just saw, I don't think your house is worth $325,000. Right? So I'm able to educate that homeowner based on those comparables. And last but not least, don't forget to print out that report. There is a comp report, a PDF file that you can provide to the homeowner or your buyer. And then we wrap you up with tax information on that property, show you if the owner has any other properties, mortgage and transaction history, and then documents and reports. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what Propstream is really good at. We're here to provide you a lot of data. We've been doing it for 17 plus years now, nationwide, but use our product to generate leads. Hopefully your next investment property, or if you're an agent, your next listing. But you can use it to get contact information so you can start talking to someone in the next 15 minutes and even set up a website and market to them and let them give you a call back. Don't forget, when they do call you back, we have property information. So you can see details on the property, finances, local sales, and even purchase reports if you need to. But that's Propstream in a nutshell for you.
That's excellent. So, hey, thanks so much for diving into that. That was super insightful. And, you know, if you do want to try a free trial of this, there is a link down below where you can get a 7-day free trial. And if you have questions about Propstream, drop it in the comment section below and we'll do our best to get back to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Empire of Real Estate YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about real estate and entrepreneurship. So if you like that kind of content and you haven't subscribed yet, smash the like button and subscribe. And before we go, there isn't a video over here that we think you'll like, so be sure to check that out as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and you have a great day.